के फूल, हाथ करे चरणों की सेवा, माथे चरणों के धूल, प्रीत करो प्रभु भक्ति से, ये तो सच्चा है। संतन की भक्ति की माला, प्रभु सुमिरन कहा, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम सीताराम। काजल भगवत प्रेम का नैनों में रोता, संतन भक्ति की माला हो, प्रभु सुमिरन कहा, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम सीताराम, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम सीताराम, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम सीताराम, सीताराम जय जय राम, बोलो राम सीताराम।
गणनाचा गजवदना, गणनाचा दीनवदना, गणनाचा गजवदना, गणनाचा दीनवदना, गणनाचा गजवदना, गणनाचा दीनवदना, गणनाचा
Jai Sitaram to all devotees. Most humble welcome to tonight's weekly Satsangh here at the Nagar Hindu Temple. Before we begin, we have the PRO of the Mandir to give a little introduction.
Jai Sitaram. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you to an evening of Satsang here at the Nagar Hindu Temple. In our midst this evening with us is no stranger, Pandit Sanjeev Maharaj, who will be conducting Ramayana Satsang for us. So I want to invite everyone to listen with rapt attention and enjoy the evening. Sitaram.
Thanks very much, Sitaram. So as we prepare to delve into the Ramcharitamanas or the Katha of Tulsidas Ji, I invite everyone. I also wish to acknowledge the presence of Pandit Uttam Sharma, Lalan, all Brahmanas, to the members of the Mandir, the Kirtan group, all devotees, the viewers on the live stream. Jai Sitaram, a most humble and special welcome to all. And so as we prepare to delve into tonight's Katha, we begin by offering our devotion, our meditation, and our prayers to the presiding divinities who grant us success in all undertakings, the ones presiding over the mind and intellect who give us the ability, that is of course in the form of Sri Ganesh Bhagwan, who presides over all activities, and Saraswati Mata, the one presiding over the intellect, the mind, and granting us wisdom and understanding and knowledge and eloquence. We focus the mind on the feet of the Guru, who is the representation of Bhagwan upon the earth, and of course the Supreme Soul of the universe, the Paramatma, Sri Ramchandra himself. So we clasp hands for a few moments as we join in prayer to these various divinities. Before we begin delving into the Holy Scripture, Hari Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Om Shri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha, Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Hari Om. Karvam sthulatanum gajendravadanan lambodaram sundaram prasyandan madagandalabdhamadupa vyalolagandhastalam dantagata vidharita dirudhirai sindura shobhakaram vande shailasutasutam ganapatim Siddhi pradam kamadam. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. We meditate on the lotus feet of Shri Saraswati Mata. Om Yakundendu Tusharahara Davala Yashobravasravrita Yavina Manditakara Ya Shweta Padamasana Ya Brahmachuta Shankara Prabhitibir Devai Sada Pujita Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Jadhyapaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. We meditate on the lotus feet of the Guru, who is the representative of Bhagwan upon the earth, and who is that medium through which we find that connection with all divinities. Hari Om. Dhyana Moolam Guru Murti, Puja Moolam Guru Padam, Mantra Moolam Guru Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu Gurura Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhanda Mandalakaram व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। एक बार बोलो श्री गुरु रामानंद स्वामी की जय। We meditate on the lotus feet of Shri Ram. Hari Om. Neelambuja Shamala Komalangam Sita Samarupitavam Bhagam Panau Mahasayaka Charu Chapam
Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatam.
Hari Om. We meditate on the various divinities who preside over this Ramcharitamanas. Varananam Artha Sanghanam Rasanam Chandasam Api Mangalanam Chakartarau Vande Vani Vinayakau Bhavani Shankarau Vande Shraddha Vishwasarupinau Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddha Swantastamishwaram Vande Bodhamayam Nityam Gurum Shankararupinam Yamasrito Ivakropi Chandra Sarvatra Vandyate. We offer our praises to the Holy Ramcharitamanas. Jehi Sumirat Siddhi Hoi Gananayak Kari Karau Anugraha Soi Bodhi Rashi Subha Mukha Hoi Bacha Gochharaya Girivar Chasu Kripa Sudaya Sankataharo Hari. Devotees, tonight we join in the Katha of Sri Ram in Aranyakand. This is, of course, meaning the journey of Sri Ram or his residence in the forest regions. During his banishment from his home in Ayodhya, as the Prince Regent, remember Sri Ram was about to be crowned or given that title of Prince Regent, which means he would be about to inherit the throne of Ayodhya. And of course, due to the circumstances, he was banished into the forest for a certain period of time. And having just visited the hermitage of Matanga Rishi, Sri Ram called upon that loyal servant who was known as Shabari and had that little discourse, which of course we all know as the Katha of the Shabari Katha, where Sri Ram visited that ashram, received the offerings and the prayers, devotion, the love of Shabari, described as being that lowly woman, most humble, in the form of a servant, and giving her that counsel that has come to be known as Navada Bhakti, or the 9 forms of worship. And so discoursing with Shabari, having given her that counsel, that teaching, the 9 forms, or the 9 ways in which one can become the Bhakta or that devotee of Bhagwan, Sri Ram continued, and so on the recommendation of Shabari, he took up his temporary residence at Pampa Sarovar, or a lake called Pampa Lake. And so, being at this location, this most beautiful location known as Pampa Sarovar, Sri Ram was called upon, or he was visited by, that is to say, by his bhakta or his devotee, the devotee of Lord Vishnu, right? The one who is known as Narada Muni, the great bhakta of Lord Vishnu, the one who always has that mind focus on Vishnu Bhagwan and who is always chanting that holy name, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. And so, visited by Narada Muni, Sri Ram and Narada Muni begin to discuss. It is said that Narada Muni, approaching Sri Ram, began to sing lots of praises due to his love and devotion to that Lord, because Sri Ram is his Lord. And bowing to the feet of Sri Ram inquiring of his welfare, taking a seat next to Sri Ram together with Lakshmana, they began to converse. And Narada Muni is speaking to Sri Ram. The Katha says, Nana vidhi binati kari Prabhu prasanna jiya jaan Narada bole bachan taba Jodi saroruha pani siya Pati Ramachandra ji ki jai sharanam. And so bowing to the feet of Sri Ram, inquiring, having all that conversation, offering his worship and devotion to that lotus feet, it is said that the heart of Sri Ram became very pleased to find to be in the presence of his devotee or his bhakta in the form of Narada Muni. And Narada Muni began to converse with Sri Ram, and he's saying to him that Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram
Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama
Sundaraya Gama Sugama Varadayaka.
Shri Ram Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama.
Dehu Eka Baramagau Swami Jadapi Janatyantarayami.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama.
Janaho Muni Tumhamora Subhao Janasanaka Bahu Ki Karau Durao.
Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Rama Jai Rama.
Kavana Vastu Ati Priya Mohi Lagi Jo Muni Barana Sukha Hutuma Magi.
Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Rama Jai Rama.
And so Shri Ram and Narada Muni begin to speak to Shri Ram, that is. He says, O Bhagwan, as that Supreme Lord, that most graceful, that most gracious Lord of the universe, O Bhagwan, you are the most generous ruler of this universe. You are that most generous and gracious Lord. You are my Lord. You are none other than Maha Vishnu himself. You have given so many great blessings to so many persons, so many of your devotees, O Bhagwan. You have even given special blessings which are considered as unattainable, that which cannot be naturally acquired. And even as you have made those attainable to your devotees, even that which is considered as almost impossible, such as your magnanimity, O Bhagwan, such is your grace. And so I have come with one special request, O Bhagwan, one special boon or one special desire. There is one single desire that is burning in my heart. Narada Muni is saying to Sri Ram, and you know, as the Supreme Lord of the universe, Narada is saying, you are that Lord, you are the one who is the ocean of knowledge, you is the one who is the creator and sustainer of the universe. You are that ever-present consciousness who pervades this universe. And O Bhagwan, you already know what I am about to request of you. You know what is seated in my heart. You know what is burning in my mind, O Bhagwan. And so you already know what I am about to ask. There is nothing in me. There is no secret. There can be no secret held from you, O Bhagwan. You are the knower of all. So even that what I have come to you with holding in my mind, even before I have come to you, O Bhagwan, you already know. Because there can be no secrets between the devotee or between any being that exists in this world. There is no secrets that we can hold from Bhagwan. We can only hold secrets from other people, right? And maybe that might only be for a period of time. One cannot hold any secret. So, you know, this is a lesson that the Katha is reminding us, the Katha of Tulsidas, as he's relating the conversation of Narada Muni, that we can, you know, sometimes we might think we're hiding and doing certain things in the dark, etc. But Narada Muni is saying to Bhagwan, you know internally the secrets that I have in the mind, even what I'm trying to convince myself might not be true, but what is really the truth, you know everything. And so we must always bear this in mind, that Bhagwan knows every action that we do. Whatever we feel we might do in the dark, whatever little sin we might feel we're hiding, we could only hide it from others in society, but we cannot hide that from the Supreme Lord. Remember, when that time comes that we depart this world and we meet with Chitra and Chitragupta, seated on the shoulders, they record everything that we do. So Bhagwan, you know everything, Narada Muni is saying. He says, and Sri Ram says now, he says, there is nothing that I would withhold. Sorry, Sri Ram is saying, you already know who I am. You have described me, O Narad. You know my disposition towards you. I do not hide anything from my devotees. I do not you hold back when you seek my blessings. Whatever is due to you, based on your karmas as well, and based on what you deserve and what is for you in this world, you would always get it. This is something we always bear in mind as well, or we should always bear in mind. Whatever is due to us in this world, we would get it. Whatever is born as the result of our karmas, so to speak, whatever is our destiny here in this world, the Katha is reminding us that always comes to us. You know, sometimes we have desires that are not in line with our destiny or in line with the results of our karmas that we may have brought with us in this world. And so we may not be able to attain something, and so we always defer to Bhagwan. Oh Bhagwan, everything rests in your hands. And so Sri Ram is reminding us that I do not withhold. So Bhagwan does not withhold anything from us. Whatever we deserve, whatever is due to us, we always get it here in this world. We don't ever get what we do not deserve here in this world. And that is, of course, based on the karmas or the results of our karmas or our actions, not necessarily from only this life, but maybe what we deserve as the results of our actions which may have come with us from previous lives. And so Bhagwan is reminding us here through the words as written by Tulsidas. And so I withhold nothing from my devotee. And so he says, Narad says, well, the special request that I have come with, O Bhagwan, is that I know that you are called by many names. You are called by Narayan, you are called as Vishnu Bhagwan, you are called Anant, you are called all these different things. You are called Paramatma, you are called all of the many different names Bhagwan has. You have so many names, you have taken so many forms, you have appeared on this earth so many times, O Bhagwan, but I wish that you would place one name. You know, you have many names that are even stated or written even in the Vedas and the Holy Scriptures, but I wish to request that one name, you give your blessing and your guarantee that one name would stand above all others. And let that name of this particular avatar or this particular moment that you have here in this world, let that name Ram become the greatest name of yours, O Bhagwan. Let it surpass all other names in the benefits that it brings to the devotees, to the person who chants or repeats or meditates or worships or uses that name, who keeps that name at the tip of the tongue constantly, the one who offers jap, rituals, etc. Let that be the name that is most effective in destroying all negative qualities, all sins, etc. of your devotees, O Bhagwan. May that name Ram. He says, Raka Rajani Bhagati Taba Rama Nama Soi Som Apara Nama Udagana Bimala Basahu Bhagata Urabhyo Masiya Pati Rama Chandra Ji Ki Jai.
Jai Sharanam.
That may that name Ram shine as bright as the moon in the night and as the sun in the daytime, above all other names. Let it be like all the stars, destroying the darkness of the earth, that the darkness that presides over us, the darkness that we see sometimes. You know, when light comes, it removes darkness. Of course, the darkness that we are speaking of is the darkness of ignorance, the darkness of the negative qualities, etc. Let that name be like the sunlight that removes all the darkness in the form of the negative qualities, the darkness of ignorance, etc. Let that name bring forth that blessing, destroy the weight of sins, negative karmas, etc. And so Bhagwan Sri Ram, it is said in the Katha, says, became very pleased, and he said, let it be so, O Narad, and brought great joy and delight to the heart of Narada Muni. And so Sri Ram became very pleased with his devotee Narada, and so he declared that name, that those who would worship, those who would meditate, those who would focus the mind on that name of Sri Ram, they would have all these great benefits, and this name would stand above all others in the worship of Bhagwan. And so that name became, gained that status here by the request of Sri Ram and the blessing of Bhagwan, by the request of Narada Muni and the blessing of Sri Ram himself. And so seeing Bhagwan so greatly pleased, Narada and Narada Muni continued to speak to Vishnu Bhagwan, and so he reminded Vishnu Bhagwan, he says, one of the causes of Vishnu Bhagwan coming or taking avatar or taking that incarnation here in this world, in this particular lifetime where he appeared in that very form of Sri Ram, is because of a curse that was placed on him by none other than Narada Muni himself. So it is Narada Muni himself. This is one of the reasons that Narada Muni came to visit Sri Ram here. He says, I am partly the cause of my Bhagwan having to come and live in this world and suffer this fate that he is facing right now. All of this Narada Muni wished upon him. And where did that happen? He says, O Bhagwan, I remember that I was the cause of your coming here, due to the fact that I wanted to get married, right? Or I held the momentary thought in my mind that I would like to get married. And because you prevented that by your wisdom, or I defer to your wisdom, you prevented me from getting married, Narada Muni is saying. Please tell me why you chose this destiny for me. Why didn't you not allow my getting married? So where did this happen? In the earlier part of Ramcharitamanas, we are reminded of this reason for the coming as described by Tulsidas Ji, that the reason for the coming of Sri Ram upon the earth, that at one time in the past, in the Himalaya mountains, there was a most beautiful cave near to an area where the Ganga was passing, where the Ganga was flowing. There was a most beautiful cave in those Himalaya mountains. And Narada Muni decided that, the cave itself, the place, the surroundings, it was very peaceful, it was very conducive to sitting down and offering devotion, performing meditation or jap, and so on, and that sort of activity. And so thinking that this place is very conducive to such activities, Narada Muni decided that he would enter into that cave and he would sit in meditation to Bhagwan, or repetition of that name. And so, spending a long time in that cave, offering jap, he recites the name of Bhagwan all the time. He's always saying, Om Narayan, 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 Narayan. All right? Narada Muni is always repeating that name. And so much was his focus at that time, and so much tapasya or credit began to build up, right? That it is said that the Lord of the heavens, Indra, he got wind of what Narada Muni happened to be doing in that cave. And he began to become fearful that Narada Muni, due to his accumulated merits born out of the japa or the devotion that he was performing to Bhagwan Vishnu, that he may be able eventually or soon to acquire such benefits out of, or that amount of merit, that he would be able, or he may be able, to usurp or take the kingdom or the spot as being the king or the ruler of the heavens that was held by Lord Indra. And so, becoming fearful, it is said that Lord Indra, he hired or he sent Kamdev. He called upon Kamdev, the god of love or the god of lust, and he sent him as an emissary in order to distract Narad. And so Kamdev, together with his entourage is of course his wife and all the most beautiful women in the universe. And so he sent these people, these persons, to try to distract Narada Muni from his tapasya, from his meditation, from his devotion. And so they try as they may, performing all the different activities that, using all the skills that they have, trying to distract Narada Muni in that way. They were unable to conquer his meditation or distract or disturb that meditation. And eventually they gave up and, they went away. And Narada Muni remained in his unwavering meditation and focus to that feet of Bhagwan Vishnu. It is said, Sahita sahaya sabhitayati mani hari manamain gahesi jai muni charanataba kahi suthi arat bainasiya pati Ramachandra ji ki
jai sharanam.
In his dismay, Kamdev decided that I am unable to make any dent or distraction or do anything to stop or disturb that devotion, that Narada Muni. I cannot come between Narada and his Lord. And so, acknowledging defeat, he bowed to the feet of Narada Muni and he departed. And he returned, of course, to give his message to Lord Indra. And so Narada Muni, of course, he became aware of what happened, right? He happened to be aware of what was taking place. And on completing his devotion or his tapasya, his meditation upon Vishnu Bhagwan, coming back out of that and realizing what had happened, it is said that what happened to Narada Muni? He became very prideful. The ego became very large. And we must take note of what brought about this great pride or this great amount of pride and ego in Narada Muni. Narada Muni began to take pride in the fact that he is offering devotion to Bhagwan. He began to take pride in that fact. So we must be careful. The Katha is reminding us, Tulsidas Ji is reminding us, we must be careful. Sometimes we might think that because we partaking in religious activity, because we regular in the mandir, because I just do more puja, or I just offer jal every morning and I don't see the neighbor getting up and offering jal, I just be lighting my diya, I don't see no diya by the neighbor house or what have you, certain thoughts like that. We begin, no matter how it is, no matter what activity we are doing in this world, we should always be aware that the risk is always there for us, that pride and that ego would begin to build. And these are said to be the key to bringing about our destruction here in this world. So we must always be careful of that. Even partaking in the religious activity, which is meant to be an act of humility, an act of love, an act of devotion to Bhagwan, even that has the risk of bringing about or raising the ego and the pride that we feel, or making us feel that somehow that makes us better than others. We must be very careful of that. we must always remember that humility is one of the critical things that we maintain when we come to Bhagwan, when we come to the presence of Bhagwan, when we focus on Bhagwan. Humility is a great prerequisite. But Narada Muni, he began to lose his humility on account of, not being distracted, being able to resist the efforts of Kamdev and not being distracted from his meditation. And so he decided that, I have to go and tell Vishnu Bhagwan how good of a devotee of him I am, right? This is what Narada Muni decided. He said, I have to go and tell this, look at how good I am. I have to go now and tell Vishnu Bhagwan how good of a devotee I am. That, look, I was offering meditation and jap to you. Kamdev came and he tried all his different tactics that he could use to distract my devotion, and I was able to overcome that. And so he happened to pass by, before he reached by Lord Vishnu, he happened to pass by Lord Shiva. And he began, he mentioned to Lord Shiva what happened. He says, look, I was offering devotion, and Lord Indra sent Kamdev to try and stop my devotion because he became fearful because I am such a great devotee of Lord Vishnu and I am so focused on my meditation I cannot be distracted. And so I go in to tell Lord Vishnu about this incident and let him know how great a devotee of his I am. And Lord Shankar, Lord Shiva, what he recognized immediately, because Lord Shiva is described as one of the great destroyers of the ego, as symbolized by the Katha in Shiv Purana, etc., where he removed the head of Lord Ganesh. That symbolizes, of course, the destruction of the ego or the destruction of pride. And so Lord Shiva, recognizing the great pride that was building or growing in the mind of Narada Muni, he says, I think you should avoid telling Lord Vishnu about this incident. You should really keep that to yourself. But what they say, advice when most needed is least heeded. And so on account of that ego, Narada Muni paid no mind to the advice that he was given by Lord Shiva. And so he went on his way straight to Lord Vishnu, and he began to boast. He began to boast about his achievement, that, oh, Bhagwan, look at how great of a devotee I am of yours. I have been offering my devotion, my meditation and prayers to you. I was able to avoid all distractions. I was even the great Kamdev, who nobody can resist here in this world. In the universe, I was able to resist all of his efforts, and I was not distracted, and yet I remained in meditation to you. And so the ego became very large. And so he departed, went to the presence of Lord Vishnu and offered his boast. And so Vishnu Bhagwan, recognizing what's taken place in the mind of Narada Muni, decided that I have to bring back my devotee, or my bhakta, my chela. I have to bring him back on the right path. And so as Narada Muni departed, and he began to travel, what happened? Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama.
Suni Muni Moha Hoi Manata Ke Gyan Virag Hridaya Nahi Jaake.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama.
Brahmacharya Pratarat Mati Dhira, Tumhi ki karai mano bhava pira.
Shri Ram Jai
कृपा तुम्हारी सकल भगवाना।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
करुणा निधि मन दीख विचारी उरयंकर गर्भ तरु भारी।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
You know what Lord Vishnu told to Narada Muni just before he departed? He started to make a little fun of Narada Muni. He said, you know, Narad, just by the very thought of you, delusion, lust, arrogance, and pride, they disappear. So he's making a little fun of Narada Muni because he recognized what's happening to Narada Muni, right? He says, you know, just by your presence, just by anyone thinking your name, O Narada Muni, all lust and pride and delusion, arrogance, all of these things, they are destroyed. And so Narada Muni, you know, because of the pride that has built up in his mind, he couldn't even recognize that Lord Vishnu was making a little fun of him. And so he went on his way, you know, with that great ego sitting in his mind, or in his heart. And as he traveled, Vishnu Bhagwan had decided that, you know, I have to destroy this ego because this is my devotee. So this is one of the things that remember. When we come to Bhagwan, we don't necessarily have to be a perfect person before we reach to Bhagwan, you know, or before we come to do devotion. As part of our engagement, we are doing self-improvement. So we might be, we don't have to say, you know, I'm not a good person, I shouldn't go in the mandir, or I maybe do something wrong yesterday, or I maybe, you know, I have a disagreement with somebody, or I said something I shouldn't, or what have you. We must recognize firstly that none of us are perfect in this world. And Bhagwan himself, when we approach him, he approaches us as well. So even though Narada Muni has that pride and that ego sitting in his heart, he is approaching Bhagwan. He was offering devotion, and Vishnu Bhagwan, accepting the devotion and the sincerity, the devotion can still be sincere, and we can still have pride and ego, and we can still have negative qualities. But Bhagwan, in that way, when we make that connection, it is there we begin and we continue to elevate ourselves. We cannot destroy all of our negative qualities overnight. It could be an entire lifetime process, but we must always have the focus in mind to keep that pathway of self-improvement, even as we engage with Bhagwan to guide us and help us on this pathway of life. And so Vishnu Bhagwan in this way decided that he has to put his devotee, Narada Muni, back on the right pathway, get rid of some of the negative qualities, the negative internal qualities that he is developing. And so as Narada Muni went on his travels, having left Vishnu Bhagwan, holding that pride, you know, with the large ego sitting with him, as he's passing by, a beautiful city, it is said, was created by the power or the Maya of Lord Vishnu. A most beautiful city that was ruled over. He came upon this city, and it is said that this city was created so beautifully by the Maya. Maha Maya is that female potency or that material creating aspect of Lord Vishnu, the female, or described as the feminine aspect or the material aspect of the divine. And using that power, Vishnu Bhagwan created this city that is described here by Tulsidas as being even more beautiful than Vaikunt itself. Vaikunt is the heaven where Lord Vishnu resides, right? Where he is seated in that ocean of milk. And such a beautiful city, also inhabited by only good-looking or beautiful people, right? There was no one there who was not like like a very good-looking person. This was created by the Maya of Lord Vishnu. This city was ruled by a king called Shilanidhi. And he had a daughter who was known as Vishwa Mohini, who was even more beautiful than Mahalakshmi herself, as the Katha describes here. And well, Vishwa Mohini is the form that Lord Vishnu himself takes, right? That is the embodiment of Mahamaya herself. And so Vishwa Mohini was the daughter of that king. And the city had a lot of activity taking place. So something was going on in the city. The city was making preparation for some big event, Narada Muni happened to realize. And Narada Muni began to inquire as to what's taken place. Having entered the city, he began to inquire as to what's taken place here. I see there's great preparation in this beautiful city. Please tell me what's happening. And he approached the king himself, and it is said that the king now, he says that I am preparing to have the Swayamvara of my daughter. This is Vishwa Mohini. And so many kings and princes, etc., from different parts of the world or the universe, they would come as suitors, and my daughter, of course, would have the choice to select who she wants to be that husband. And he even brought his daughter out and introduced her, showed her to Narada Muni. And so Narada Muni became greatly infatuated by this daughter of that king. And seeing her beauty, it is said here in the Katha, immediately he forgot about, his mind wavered from all his thoughts of dispassion and self-control and all these different things. And he remained gazing on Vishwa Mohini for a very long time, the Katha is saying. And so much that he began to grow lustful. And he decided that I need to have this bride for myself. So I need to outshine all of the other princes and all of the other kings who would come to attend this Swayamvara. So he decided that I need to go and ask Vishnu Bhagwan for a favor. I am his great devotee. Look how much I have done for him. Look at how much devotion I have given to him. I was able to overcome Kamdev. But yet still we can see here, Kamdev is still having an effect on Narada Muni. And so he decided that he wants to be the person to win the hand of this bride in marriage. He decided he wanted to get married. But Narada Muni is meant to be an eternal bachelor. He's that eternal devotee of Bhagwan Vishnu. And so in this way he began to become overcome by passion and lust and desire and all these different things. And because of the great potency and the power of that Maha Maya of Lord Vishnu himself, all of this was created to attract the mind of Narada Muni in order to teach him that lesson as the will of Bhagwan Vishnu. And so he left immediately. He thought that I need to be able to outshine all of these kings and all of these persons who are going to attend this Swayamvara. And so he went to Lord Vishnu and he says to him, he says, you know, I have done so much devotion to you. I am your greatest bhakta. I am your greatest devotee, O Bhagwan. And so I'm here now to ask you a favor. I am here to seek your grace and your blessing. And I desire to get married. And so I have a wish of you. I come to seek this blessing or this boon. And bestow upon me, O Bhagwan, give me your grace and your blessing, Narada is asking. He says, as a blessing for all the devotion that I have offered to you, grant me looks or beauty, make me look just like yourself. Right? Give me looks just like your own self. Allow me to be equal with you in beauty, equal with Lord Vishnu himself. And Vishnu Bhagwan smiled at Narada Muni and he says, Jehi bidhi hoi paramahita Narada sunahu tumhar Soi hamakara bana an kachu Bachan namrasa hamar Siyapati
Ramachandra ji ki jai Sharanam.
He says, Narad, listen to me. I will do that alone which is good for you and nothing else. And Narad Muni this is my promise to all my devotees. I will do that which is right for you. This is the promise that Lord Vishnu makes to all of us. He would give us exactly what we deserve here in this world. So we always bear that in mind. And so this is what he's saying to Narad Muni. He's saying, I will give you what you deserve. I will give you what is right, what is the right thing for you. But Narad Muni, being so overcome by all his different emotions, his pride, his ego, his lust, his desires, all of these things. And so he misinterpreted that now to say, to be that Lord Vishnu is giving him the equal looks like himself. So he immediately departed thinking that he's looking the same as Lord Vishnu. He's looking like Lord Vishnu himself. And so he says, if I'm looking like Lord Vishnu himself, then I must be the person to win the heart of that bride and that Swayamvara. And so he made his way straight back to the place where that Swayamvara was taking place. And, sitting now in the circle of all the different kings, etc., who had come as suitors, Narad Muni took his place, and it is said that two of the devotees of Lord Shiva happened to be there at the very same time. And, they came disguised as Brahmanas to witness the events taking place, etc. Two of Lord Shiva's attendants. And, they begin to make a little fun of Narad Muni and so on. And, they are saying, Hari has given you such beauty that the princess will be enamored to look at you and all these things. And, they're saying it in a sarcastic way because Bhagwan, the word Hari also means monkey, right? And so Lord Vishnu gave Narad Muni really the face of a monkey. And so Narad Muni is thinking he's looking exactly like Lord Vishnu, but he really has the face of a monkey while he's seated there in that Swayamvara. And so these attendants of Lord Shiva, knowing all that is taking place with Lord Vishnu and Narad Muni and so on, they are they are having a little bit of fun with him. And so, as the Swayamvar took place and went by, when they intended, the daughter came, she passed Narad straight. She held the mala in her hand and she passed Narad Muni straight. And she didn't even look at him. And, he became disheartened and so on. And continuing to see the events taking place, he saw that he happened to notice Lord Vishnu himself, seated as one of the kings in the Swayamvar, to be able to win that bride, the hand of that bride in marriage. And so it so happened that she went straight to Lord Vishnu himself, and she placed the mala around his neck, choosing him to be her husband, because really and truly she belongs to Lord Vishnu, right? And so becoming, it is said that the Katha says that this brought great rage or anger to the mind of Narada Muni. And when he realized what has happened, the two attendants of Lord Shiva, they eventually told him, go and take a look at your reflection. And so going to look at his own reflection, he was wondering what's happening or what had happened, why she would bypass him and why she would go and take Lord Vishnu and so on. And they told him to go and take a look at your reflection and see how you're looking. And so Narada Muni eventually realized that instead of having that face the same as Lord Vishnu that he asked for, he was given the face of a monkey. And afterward, of course, looking at his face again, being enraged, he eventually regained his original face to look like himself. And so he became filled with anger, and he went straight away. First, he pronounced a curse on the two attendants of Lord Shiva, and he said to them, 2 of you would be reborn as 2 demons in your next life. And so in this one instance, it is said that these 2 attendants of Lord Shiva are the ones who received that curse. In other cycles of creation, is different persons who get that curse. In one instance, it is said that the attendants of Lord Vishnu, Jai and Vijay, became the ones who came as Ravan and Kumbhakarna. In this one, it is said that these 2 attendants of Lord Shiva are the ones who got the curse of Narada Muni to take birth as Ravan and Kumbhakarna here in this world, in this particular cycle. And so they got that curse from Narada Muni as well, and so he went with his heart filled with rage and revenge straight to Vishnu Bhagwan. And he began to speak to Lord Vishnu, filled with rage at that moment in time. He says, Asura Sura Bisa Sankarahi Apurama Municharu Swarata Sadaka Kutila Tumha Sadaka Pata Vyavaharusiya
Pati Ramachandra Ji ki Jai Sharanam.
He says, I now realize the person that you are. I now get to realize the kind of person that you are. You does only use people. This is what Narada Muni is saying to Vishnu Bhagwan. He says, you does only look out for your own self alone. You don't care about anybody at all. You only look for what is best for you. And I recall, this is why during the churning of the ocean, you give Lord Shiva the poison to drink and you take Lakshmi for yourself. And so I beginning to see the trend with you. This is the kind of person that you are. You just give everybody else all kind of suffering and pain and difficulties, and you just take all the best things for yourself. This is what Narada Muni is saying to Lord Vishnu. You are that most selfish person. Narada Muni is saying, you only filled with treachery and doing wickedness to others. Narada is saying to Lord Vishnu. He says, today I'm going to teach you that lesson. Today you mess with the wrong person. I'm going to use all the merits that I have gained. And I put this curse on you that you will take that form, the very same form that you have given to me that form of the monkey, you will have to depend on the monkeys to be your helpmates at some point when you go down on planet Earth, on Prithvi Lok. Also, because you have separated me from the person I wanted to be my wife, you would have to suffer from separation from your wife. This is the curse that Narada Muni has put on Lord Vishnu. And it is said, gladly accepting that curse, that most compassionate Bhagwan Lord Vishnu made many, he bowed to the feet of Narada Muni, so to speak, and he withdrew. At that point, he withdrew the Maya that was presiding over the mind of Narada Muni. And immediately Narada Muni realized all the different mistakes that he has made. But it is all by the will of Bhagwan that all of this has taken place. Not only in one case, in one aspect, for teaching Narada Muni about or destroying the pride and the ego and various negative qualities that Narada Muni happened to be developing in that period, and also for fulfilling that destiny as to come here in this world in that form of Sri Ram for to fulfill many different promises, to bring moksha or liberation, to give darshan to various persons, etc., and also to fulfill this curse that was laid on him by Narada Muni, born out of pride and ego and lust and anger and all these things. So we must always be careful. The Katha is reminding us what we say when our emotions are high. So this is one of the important lessons that we take from these kathas as well. When the emotion is high, we should always be careful not to make pronouncement, not to make decisions. We should always wait till that emotion go down. Whether it is anger or what you're feeling at any moment, never make decisions or make choices or make pronouncements during that state of mind. Always wait till you're in a more logical state of mind. Because here Narad happened to make that great mistake, but it was really by the will of Bhagwan Vishnu that he allowed Narada Muni to pronounce that curse and give him that destiny to come here and face separation from the wife and to be working together with the monkey tribe, which includes Sugriva, Lord Hanuman, etc. And so here Narada Muni reminded Lord Vishnu at that lake of Pampa Sarovar, where he visited Lord Sri Ram. He's saying that, I wanted to get married and to destroy my ego and so on. You performed this great feat by creating the fake city or the city out of Mahamaya, etc. And so, O Bhagwan, please tell me, Narada Muni is now saying, this is back at Pampa Sarovar. Narada is now speaking, recalling that incident of pronouncing the curse that I am the cause of your descent into this world, and I am the cause of some of these circumstances that you are facing here, separation from wife and so on, O Bhagwan. Please tell me, Narada is saying, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Jena bhajahi asa prabhu brahma tyagi jnana ranka nar mandaya bhagi.
Shri Ram
Kabira. सुनो मुनि संतन के गुण कहो, जिन्हते मैं उनके बस रहूं। So Narada Muni is saying, "O Bhagwan, recalling all that has happened in the past, recalling the negative qualities that became or that started to overcome me, that growth of ego and pride and delusion and lust and anger and all of these things. O Bhagwan, I implore you, tell me, what are the marks or the qualities of that saintly person? What are the qualities of that devotee of yours? What are the qualities of that righteous person, O Bhagwan? You as the one who destroys the cycle of birth and death. You are as that one who saves the souls of your devotees from the cycle of birth and death. Please tell me the qualities of the righteous person or the qualities of your devotees or the saintly person. So Bhagwan is that one who can destroy or remove our soul or Jivatma, who can take this Jivatma. This is why whenever we perform the funeral rites, but it's really something we should be thinking of while we're here in this world. We say, Preta Moksha Pradobhava, may that departed soul attain oneness with the Param Atma, which is Sri Ram himself or Sri Krishna, right? That supreme soul, that is the goal that we seek. May that soul that has departed this body, because that is the source from which this soul has come. But the person who possesses these negative qualities while residing in this world, that soul cannot become eligible for the attainment of moksha. So it cannot only happen in that moment when we're doing that funeral and we say Preta Moksha Pradobhava. We pray to try to help the soul, but really and truly that goal can only be gained by what we do while we are living here in this world, the moments that we live, the choices, the state of mind with which we engage with the world around. When we did the destruction of the negative qualities, those things must take place while we're here in this world to make that soul eligible for the attainment of that state of moksha. And so he's saying, please tell me about that person who achieves that state, O Bhagwan. Please give me some description of that person. Firstly, Sri Ram is saying, first thing or first quality of these persons is that six qualities have been destroyed in their mind and in their hearts. They have conquered or destroyed these aspects from their life. That is lust, anger, greed, pride, jealousy, infatuation. Right? So the first thing that these persons who are the saintly persons who eventually become eligible to get that state or attain that state that Narad has just described, that Bhagwan Sri Ram can grant to us, the one who destroys or removes the fear of death, so to speak. Because the fear of death is where we go in after here. Are we going to suffer? Are we going to face difficulties? and it is the negative qualities and the sins that we perform. And so to avoid that, one must destroy these negative qualities in the form of lust, anger, greed, pride, jealousy, infatuation. Such person may be described as sinless, O Narad. The person whose mind is no longer focused on materialism or the material world around. You know, it's something that we need to understand. We live in the world, we use the material things around, but we should not be mentally or in that way engage emotionally with the world around. You know, if we might have something today, we might not have it tomorrow. We should not have sorrow or separation, anxiety from not having this or not having that. You know, our state of mind should be at peace or unchanging while we are living in this world. This is one of the core teachings of the Bhagavad Gita as well, that the state of mind should be in this way, that we are not attached to the material world around. You know, the world around us can change, and it does change every moment that we live in this world. And so we are the ones who should remain unchanging while the world around us keeps changing. So we might be here today, there tomorrow, we might sleep somewhere today, somewhere else tomorrow, the clothes we wear might change, the food we eat, the interactions we have, the material possessions we have, what we do not have, all of these things are in flux, and so they can change all the time. And so our mind should be the thing that is not changing. We should be undisturbed by the changes in the material world around us. This is one of the qualities. That person should hold no possession or no material possession as dear and important and critical and necessary here in this world. That person has purity both inside and outside. So the person is not pretentious when they interact with the world around. You know, it have a lot of people who might, you know, as they say, the person go move real nice with you in front of your face, and then they bad talking you behind your back, or they doing things against you, they undermining you, undercutting you, etc. Pretentious and all these things. This is not the quality of the saintly person who is the bhakta or the devotee, the person who seeks to become one with that Supreme Soul or seeks to become one with Sri Ram. Such a person does not possess these qualities. The person is the same inside and outside. So whatever front that person is showing you on the outside when they interact with you, it is the same person that is on the inside. They don't have secrets in that way. They are not a different person when they are behind your back. So we must be careful how we interact with the world around. The person who is always in that state of happiness, the person who has discernment, the person who follows the right information. You know, we could get all kinds of information here in this world, and all kinds of advice, and all kinds of guidance, etc. But we must have the discernment to use the right guidance and follow the right pathway here in this world. And of course, it is in places where you find satsang, etc., is one of the critical places where you find the guidance and the teachings that are found in the scriptures. And so the person who possesses that wisdom to follow the teachings of the Holy Scriptures or keep oneself really and truly in alignment with the pathway of Sanatan Dharma, Sri Ram is saying here. The person who has destroyed desires, the person who is also moderate in what they consume. So Sri Ram is saying explicitly here as well that managing how we consume food and so on, what we consume, that is a part of being saintly. The person who practices moderation and that chooses the right foods, etc. And, you know, gives consideration to all these things. The person who always speaks the truth, that is the quality of the saintly person. The person whose mind is always focused on that lotus feet of mine, on that feet of Bhagwan. That is the quality of the saintly person. The person, O Narad, Sri Ram is saying, that person who always does introspection, rather than looking for the faults in others, we must always look for the faults in ourselves first. You know, we always talk about the pot calling the kettle black. The first place you must look for faults is within yourself. Introspection is something we should be doing all the time. And so Sri Ram is reminding us of this. The person who gives others their due honor. You know, you don't try to degrade people, etc., to make yourself feel better and so on. Sri Ram is saying, give the due honor and respect and etc. to others as we interact with them. The person, of course, who has destroyed pride. Pride is one of the core modes of destruction here in this world. You know, it's one of the pillars, it is one of those main qualities that all of the scriptures tell us is the pathway towards self-destruction, leading us to the attainment of the hellish regions when we depart this world. The person whose mind is stable, right? So when we choose the right pathway, when we take that pathway of dharma, when we make our various commitments on that pathway, etc., we remain strong-minded, we remain dedicated to Bhagwan. We do not falter in that dedication, in that commitment, in that faith, etc. The person who always engages in discussions on dharma, the person who is always engaged in, who always converses, who always engage in satsang and dharmic discussions, the person who always gives consideration to what is the right action to perform at any moment in time. You don't just, as mentioned, one of the ways that we react is when we're highly emotional and we feeling hurt or we feeling angry or we feeling what have you. You know, we react sometime in that state, and tomorrow morning we realize that, maybe I should have make a different choice, I should have react different, I should have done something differently. And so we should always be that way. We should always give consideration to our choices that we make in this world, and always ensure that the actions or the activities that we perform, the choices that we make, that they are in line with the pathway or the teachings of our dharma or the destiny in accordance with Sanatana Dharma. We always pay mind to such activities. Sri Ram is saying to Narada Muni, Gunagara samsara dukha rahita bigata sande taji mama charana saroja priya tina kahu deha nagoe geharam siya
पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम.
The persons who never express any doubt, but not only that you don't express doubt, that is to say doubt in the support of that Supreme Lord, the person who has that full implicit faith in Bhagwan, that, oh Bhagwan, everything rests in your hands, and even my destiny rests in your hands. Remember earlier, Lord Vishnu said to Narada Muni, I will always give my devotee what is due to them and what they deserve, and nothing else. This is what Vishnu Bhagwan said to Narada Muni when he was departing from Vaikuntha, and he was asking for the face of Lord Vishnu. He was asking for a face similar to Lord Vishnu. He says, I give my devotee or my bhakta what they deserve and what is due to them. And so we should always hold that implicit faith that We should never have that doubt in Bhagwan and always let everything rest at his feet. This is what we say. This is what we say really when we are saying that mantra, you know. Oh Bhagwan, everything is in your hands. You are everything. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva. Tvameva. We engage everything to you. We see you as everything to us. And so it is only by your will that we exist, oh Bhagwan. And everything that we face, all circumstances, everything that we engage with this world, they are by your will, and so we accept your will, O Bhagwan. This is what we mean to say when we say in that mantra, Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Bandhu. So this is the thoughts that we should hold in mind when reciting that mantra. And this is why we close off everything with that, because, O Bhagwan, we now leave everything in your hands. And so we accept your will. Nothing besides my lotus feet is dear to such a person, that saintly person, O Narad. Not even their own body, so they hold me in greater regard to themselves. They make whatever sacrifice that they have to make in service to me. You don't put your body first, you know, I'm hungry, I can't fast to do the puja, you know, the people, we can't fast for 21 days or something, I have enough money or what have you. Always you have an excuse when it comes to devotion, right? You don't have the money for the puja, but you have the money when Christmas comes to go and, you know, stock up. Put Bhagwan first. This is what Sri Ram is saying. They hold me as dearest, my feet, my lotus feet, because the feet reminds us that we come to Bhagwan with humility. This is why we focus on the feet. We are not equal to Bhagwan. We are the bhaktas or the devotees or the servants of Bhagwan, and so we come to that lotus feet, and such persons hold that feet dear, even beyond their own body and own feelings, etc. And so we make that sacrifice for service to Bhagwan. Such a person is that saintly person, as Sri Ram is describing to Narada Muni. That such persons, Sri Ram is saying, they do not even wish to hear praises of themselves. You know, when people offer praise to you, or they speak highly of you, etc., the true bhakta of mind, that does not fill the ego. The ego has been destroyed, you know, our ego, as they say, stoke the ego when we get praises, etc. But such a person who is that devotee or that saintly person, they have risen above that. When people give you good credit, etc., give you praises, it means it doesn't really fill your ego. It does not raise your pride in that way. But feel much delighted to hear of the achievements and the great praises, etc., of others. This is the state of mind of that person who is described as the saintly person or the bhakta of Sri Ram. That person is even-minded, unchanging. That person does not ever abandon the pathway of dharma, and that person has no hypocrisy and is loving by nature. That is the state of mind of the bhakta or the devotee of Bhagwan Sri Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Dhamma Sanjamane Ma Guru Govinda Viprapada Prema. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama pidaya mudita mama pada pritiya maya. Kabinaya Vigyana Bodha Jatarata Veda Purana.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Amba mana mada karahina kao boli na dehi kumara da pao.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Ever engaged in worship is that person, O Narad, Lord Sri Ram is saying, ever engaged in worship, offering rituals in the form of prayers, etc. Ever engaged in giving charity, ever controlling the senses. Don't let the senses control you, be in control of the senses. The person who fulfills all religious observances, that is to say, you take part in all the events, Maha Shivratri, Ram Navami, Navratri, all the different things that come up, ever engaged in these religious observances. Of course, even your weekly satsang, all the mandira activities, all of these things. Such a person is that saintly person, O Narad. The person who undertakes and fulfills the various sacred vrats, right? Those who perform Satyanarayan Katha, Satyanarayan Vrat, you have Shravan Vrat, etc., various different vrats, Ekadashi Vrat, all of these things. All those are such persons fulfill all of these. They are ever engaged in such activities. The person who is devoted to the feet of the Guru always, you remember, is one of the very important persons in the life of a Hindu or follower of Sanatana Dharma. The Guru is said to be Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Within the form of the Guru, one sees Brahma, Vishnu, Lord Shiva, all the various divinities. One sees the entire host of divinities in the form of the Guru. That is the person who makes the connection between the Chela and Bhagwan. Devoted to the feet of the Guru, devoted to the feet of Lord Vishnu, and the person who honors the Brahmanas. These are the saintly persons, O Narad. The person who is always forgiving, the person who is friendly and compassionate to all beings, the person who is always happy or cheerful under all circumstances, and the person who is sincere in devotion to me. Shraddha, implicit faith. You know, when we perform religious activities, we are always reminded that it is not only an external act, but it is an internal act. The mind should have the focus, not because you show up somewhere, not because you do something with your hand or your feet, but your mind focus somewhere else. One of the most important aspects of our activities, our dharmic, religious, ritual activities, is the focus of the mind. The engagement of the mind is most important. That shraddha, that faith, and that engagement that we perform when performing rituals, etc. So we always bear that in mind. This is what Sri Ram is reminding us. as he speaks to Narada Muni here. Ever engaged in singing and hearing my kathas, the person who sings the bhajans, the people who listens, who recites and listens to the katha of Bhagwan, the person who does good and kind, who is good and kind to others without any consideration or without any expectation that what you do for others, you always do say, we often hear people saying, I do this for that one and I do this for the next one and I give that one so much and they never do nothing for me. And that is not the quality of the person that Sri Ram is describing here. No consideration, no expectation. When we do good or help anyone in any way or another person, we do good for them. We do anything to assist them in any way. We give charity, etc. There should never be any consideration, any expectation that they should return something to us. We consider it our duty to look after the welfare of the world around us, help the downtrodden, who we can, where we can, when we can. We perform such activities without expectation. So if we help somebody and we hear they win the lotto now, you say, I the land of Allah 500, look, he win the lotto and he forget me, right? We have no expectation to get back anything from such persons who we have done any goodwill for. In short, O Narad, this is just some of the qualities of the saintly persons that I have mentioned here. So numerous are the qualities of the saintly persons that even Goddess Saraswati, they cannot be enumerated or narrated or mentioned even, even by Saraswati Mata herself, or not even in the Vedas. O Narad, such is the immense amount of good qualities that are possessed by the bhaktas or the devotees of mine, those who I describe as the saints or the good or righteous persons that exist here in this world. And this is the discourse or the information or the advice that is given by Sri Ram as requested by Narada Muni. Tulsidas ji says, Kahi sakana sarada sesha narada sunata pada pankaj gahe asadina bandhu kripalayapane bhagat guna nij mukha kare sirunai karahi bara charanani brahma te chanya tulasi dasayas hai je hari rangraye Shri Ramachandra kripalu bhajumana darunam navakanjalochana So, Tulsidas ji says, not even Saraswati Mata or Shesha can tell or describe the greatness of such saintly persons. Tulsidas ji is speaking to us. Even as he heard this, he says, Sage Narada Muni clasped the lotus feet of Bhagwan, and he fell prostrate at the feet of that most merciful Lord, the one who is the protector of the weakest of all of us. Bhagwan himself recounted with his own lips the virtues and the good qualities of his devotees. Narada Muni, bowing his head at the lotus feet of Bhagwan again and again, left or departed the presence of Sri Ram. At that moment, having completed his discussion. Tulsidas Ji says, those most blessed are such persons who give up all expectations and all wishes and are filled with pure love for the feet of Bhagwan Sri Ram. Ek baar bolo Shri Ramachandra ki jai. So this is the end of this katha, the discussion between Bhagwan Sri Ram and Narada Muni, where we are reminded of some of the negative qualities that can overcome us even in the most unexpected places, right? You know, we might believe that being in the religious activity or certain activities, etc., or certain places, is always where we least expect it. We need to pay the most attention. And so Sri Ram also in that discourse also reminds us of the good qualities. So we are reminded of the negative qualities that we should avoid: the anger, lust, pride, ego, hatred, jealousy, etc. And we are reminded of the good qualities that are possessed by the followers or the devotees of Bhagwan Sri Ram. So this is the katha that, this concludes the katha for tonight. So at this time, I don't know, the Mandir still have announcements? Aarti. So at this time, let us just offer a little closing prayer as we meditate on Bhagwan Sri Ram, and then we will perform Aarti to Bhagwan. Hari Om Adau Rama Tapovana Digamanam Hatva Mrigam Kanchanam Vaidehi Haranam Jatayumaranam Sugriva Sambhashanam Vali Nitrahanam Samudrataranam Lankapuri Dahanam Paschadravana Kumbhakarnahananam Chaitadhi Ramayanam Om Neelambuja Shamalako Malangam Sita Samarupita Vamabhagam Pano Mahasayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvam Shanatam. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Ek baar bolo Shri Ramachandra ki jai. So at this time I invite everyone to stand as we join in Aarti, Rama in Aarti. So all those who wish to come up and make offer Aarti to the Holy Scripture, you can take the opportunity to do so while Aarti is taking place. Right? Harihi Om Sajam Chandrama Manaso Jata Chakshoho Suryo Ajayata Shrotrad Vayuscha Pranascha Mukhad Agnera Jayata.
Aarti Shri Ramaya Jiti Kirati Kalita Lalita Siyapeti. Aarti Shri Ramaya Jiti Kirati Kalita Lalita Siyapeti.
Shri Ramaya जी की कीर्ति कली कललिकस्य भी आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कली कललिकस्य भी
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
संतत गावत शंभु भवानी और घात शंभव उनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि पोंग भकानी काक भूषोद गरुड़ के
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कली कललिकस्य भी आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कली कललिकस्य भी
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय 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 राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
चार हो वेद पुराण अष्टदश चौसास सब ग्रंथन षोडश तन मन धन संतन की सर्वस सारे अंश समक सब ही के
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कली कललिकस्य भी आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कली कललिकस्य भी
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
कलिमाल हरणी विषय तस्पी की सुमग श्रृंगार मोकी युवती की हर निरोग भाव मोरियमी की ताप मात सब विधि तुलसी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कली कललिकस्य भी आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कली कललिकस्य भी
श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
एक बार Bro Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. Umapati Mahadev ki jai. Pavan Putra Hanuman ki jai. Mahashakti Durga Mata ki jai. Mahalakshmi Mata ki jai. Saraswati Mata ki jai. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Devotees, just a reminder that on Monday night we join once more in Full Moon Katha. So Full Moon Katha will be held at the Mandir right here on Monday evening, I think around 5:30. Puja would begin, followed by Satyanarayan Swami Katha. So all are invited again to join with us on Monday. And once more I will be with you. So we clasp hands, meditate and focus the mind. O Bhagwan, we beg of you firstly to grant us forgiveness for wherever we have mistakes, wherever we have faltered. O Bhagwan, please grant us your mercy, your compassion, your kindness and forgiveness. Hari Om. Mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktihinam
Janardanam
yat pujitam maya deva
Paripurnam Tadasvami
Avahanam na janami visarjanam Pujam chaiva na janami Shamaswa Parameshwara. O Bhagwan, we seek your continued guidance, blessings, protection on this pathway of life. Please fulfill our desires and grant us success in all undertakings. Grant us good health and your guidance and protection at all times. Hari Om. Ganapati
Girijam Vrishabhadvajam Shanamukho Nanadi Mukadimadima
Manujamal Trishulam Mrigasvacham Pratidinam Kushalam Jayamangalam Pratidinam
Kushalam Jayamangalam
Pratidinam
Kushalam Jai Mangalam.
Om Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu, Mangalam Garuda Dhwaja, Mangalam Pundarikaksha, Mangalaya
Hari
Tvameva Mata
Chapita Tvameva
Bandhush
Chasaka
Tvameva Vidya
Davinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
Om Shanti Shanti
Shanti Hari Om.
Satguru Ki Dandat Jai Jai
Sitaram.
All right, everyone can take back your seats. I think the Mandir has some additional announcements. Sitaram.
Sitaram again, devotees. Let me begin by first giving thanks to that divine universal force by whose grace and mercy we are all here tonight, blessed and was able to listen to a most excellent katha by Pandit Sanjeev Maharaj. Babs, thank you so much for that. For those of you who may have missed it, of course we have our live stream recording on our Facebook page, so feel free to go back and listen to this, again, very outstanding katha. A few in-house announcements. As Babs indicated, on Monday 2nd, we have our monthly full moon katha. It begins at 5 p.m. and, of course, Pandit Sanjeev will be officiating. We break for 2 weeks for weekly satsang, so that will be the 5th and 12th of March. We will have no satsang. We will resume on the 19th of March. That's when Navaratri begins, so we invite you all to come out then. And also an additional invite from our friends at the Narayan Madhuvan Mandir, SDMS branch number 68. They cordially invite you and your family to Saraswati Puja on Sunday, 1st March 2026. Puja begins at 1:30 p.m. All students and anyone else are all welcome to bring their stationery, etc. to be blessed. Again, Puja starts at 1:30 p.m. on Sunday, 1st March at the Narayan Madhuvan Mandir. Jai Sitaram.
One, two, sound check. My dear devotees, by special request by Auntie Liberty, I do render this bhajan for them. Hari Sundar Nand Mukundal Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Keshav Hari Govinda Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Sundar Shavananda Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayan Hari Om Bhanmale Murali Vali Govardhan Girvardhari Bhanmale Murli Vali Govardhan Girvardhari Nit nit karwa khar chori Gopi banhare Nit nit karwa khar chori Gopi banhare Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Keshav Hari Govinda Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Keshav Hari Govinda Hari Narayan Hari Om Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda 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 Hari Narayan Hari Om आओ रे गावो रे गोकुल के प्यारे आओ रे गाओ रे गोकुल के प्यारे आओ रे नाचो रे रास रचाओ रे आओ रे नाचो रे रास रचाओ रे